All right, so we are in our first game. We are on the play. So lucky. And this hand's awful. If I knew what we were up against, I would consider keeping it. So we have the 4 Fevered Visions, 4 Cathartic Reunion, and 2 Tormenting Voice is basically proactive things to do on the first 3 turns. I think actually I'm going to keep this. I don't like the look of this hand, but we're not going to get run over. We're going to be able to hit our land drops. You know, the Kozilek's return into Wretched Gryff is... Oh, actually, yeah, that'll work. So yeah, we need a little bit of help off the top of our deck, but when I think more about what we got going on in this deck, it makes me think that maybe this, hand is fine. Wow, well, Kozilek's return is going to be good in this matchup. That's for sure. So I'm really hoping that our opponent taps out for another creature, but not a Scrap Heap Scrounger. Please no Scrounger. Please no Scrounger. I'm not really happy about that either, to be honest. So this is a little awkward for me. I don't really know what I want to do. If I just play the Kozilek's return now, then my opponent's likely to just play a creature and attack me with a copter. And if I wait and my opponent just uses the courier to activate the copter and attacks, it's kind of, I mean... I don't have very many. I have 3 lightning axes. That's it. I think I'm just going to cast this Cathartic Reunion. I think it's the most productive thing that I can do. This will leave me with 4 land drops. I feel like that's going to be enough. It's also consideration to discarding the Kozilek's return, but I think there's a good chance I'm going to want to hardcast it. So this is going to be a great matchup for Galvanic Bombardment as well as Weaver of Lightning. Probably not a good matchup for Fevered Visions. All right, well, this is certainly the sort of situation where I would want Kozilek's return. That's good, and I'll be able to kill this Bomat Courier without my opponent being able to sacrifice it. Which there's a good chance he just wouldn't want to do right now because he has more cards in hand, but we're getting close to that point. Certainly good that I'm able to kill Bomat Courier this turn rather than letting my opponent untap with there being 3 cards under the Bomat Courier. That would potentially be pretty bad. So the good news is I'm only at 14. I do need to do this now, I think. Could certainly be a little greedy and use it after my opponent tries to cast something, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I'm better off just doing it right away. So I'm most certainly a little behind, or I shouldn't say It's not just that I'm behind. I'm certainly behind where I would want to be. Smuggler's Copter is actually pretty hard for me to interact with. And normally I would be, comfortable stabilizing the board and, playing a longer game, but I'm sure my opponent has a healthy amount of burn. Ooh, Bloodhall Priest, wow. That is a big boy. It's gonna be hard for me to deal with. Well, I guess I play he'll just, well, no, I guess he won't kill it. At least I hope he won't kill it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a little interesting what I actually want to do with the Stitchwing Skaab if I get the opportunity to block with it. There's a good chance that I will not get the opportunity to block with it. But even if I don't get to block with it, I can still return it to play and play Wretched Gryff and flashback Kozilek's return, so that's sweet. But yeah, I think if I'm given the opportunity to block with it, I'll just block the Copter. That hurts. That doesn't quite kill me. So I get to go to 1. I have to. All right, yeah, we're toast here. So I certainly needed to have a bit more going on there. These are going to come in. Fevered Visions is going to come out. Bombardments are in. I think that I can probably trim an Amalgam and 2 Tormenting Voices. And then we're good to go. And this isn't a great, but it is a serviceable hand. It'd be really nice to have like a, I don't know, 2-mana spell or something like that, but I'm hoping that my opponent doesn't have much removal in his deck, and turn 3 Weaver of Lightning has to be like one of the better things that I can do in this matchup. And I've got Fiery Temper for our Smuggler's Copter, which is also really nice. That's actually really nice too. So I think here I just want to fire off the Kozilek's return. I guess he might have something to play pre-combat, potentially. I could wait to see if my opponent plays something like PNLR, but I don't think that's actually worth it. Well, that's not particularly exciting. So this Cathartic Reunion plus Fiery Temper plus Prized Amalgam looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. Wow, oh wow. Can't block that, which is a little annoying. But I'm only going down to 17, so it's kind kind of whatever. So guess I cast the Cathartic Reunion here. So Reaper of Lightning is going to shoot down the Neonate for free. And then I guess I just Fiery Temper his face. I could also consider not doing this so that I would have mana to potentially cast something. But it's just, I don't know, unlikely. The thing too is like the 3 damage against my opponent's a little on the irrelevant side. But we'll see. And I actually have no interest in attacking with this Weaver of Lightning because I don't want him to be able to get through with like a Bowmat Courier. Me dealing the 1 damage to him is like kind of irrelevant. Ooh, I like that. 2, 4, 6. 1 mana short of being able to do it all. We'll start with this. And because my opponent doesn't have black mana, that also means that there's no Scrap Heap Scroungers around, which is nice. So now, because I can play an Elder Deep-Fiend inside of combat and Kozilek's return, I think I'm just going to attack with both. Also, now I'm starting to feel like I'm sensing a little bit of weakness. My opponent's doing so little. There's the black mana. I wonder if he has Unlicensed Disintegration. And he does. And total blowout. This kind of feels game ending. Since I already have a Deep-Fiend, I'll get the Gryff. And now I can potentially threaten a lethal attack. Yep, that's lethal. And that was a fast turnaround. I wonder what my opponent has in his hand. He could have, so like some burn spells. And maybe some other black spells. I feel like these Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, for this next game, I think we're basically just going to be running it back with no changes. Could certainly consider trying to have like a ceremonious rejection in place of some number of the Cathartic Reunions when I'm on the draw. But I think I'd rather just make sure that as many cards as possible just play to the board. So I'm not going to change anything. The Ceremonious Rejections can hit Bomat Couriers, it can hit Scrap Heap Scrounger, and it can hit the other guy too. I guess I keep that on top. It's like the 1/4 reach is actually like just kind of a good blocker. Smuggler's Copter, that's the other artifact card that can counter with Ceremonious Rejection. Galvanic Bombardment would be nice. Could also make a good argument for bottoming this, just because it'd be nice to, you know, just guarantee your land drops. But I feel like with the Cathartic Reunion, we should be okay. I feel like I'm safe to discard one of these Deep-Fiends. Man, this is almost great, but not quite. Yeah, I wonder how I'm going to need to play this. This may be a situation where I discard Kozilek's Return to Cathartic Reunion, and then play the Stitchwing Skaab and hope that I get to untap with it to Deep-Fiend my opponent's board. I may actually need to discard Stitchwing and Kozilek's Return, because that way I could return the Skaab and play Deep-Fiend in one turn, and I would only need 5 mana. Would be pretty good. So let's say turn 3, Cathartic Reunion, turn 4, something else, turn 5, wipe my opponent's board, put a Deep-Fiend into play, so hopefully I can live that long. Opponent's mounting the pressure. Not really put up anything as defense. It's unclear to me if trying to block is even worth it. I mean, really what I think I want is just a removal spell. Wow, look at that. I guess that's actually probably pretty good against Emrakul. Oh man. So actually doesn't make a difference which one of these I discard, but I could potentially play this just hardcast the Stitchwing next turn, so maybe I'll go for these two. I really want like Galvanic Bombardment on top red mana. That'd be great. Oh, you're killing me. Alright, well I'm probably gonna die. I think the plan is to play the Weaver of Lightning and the Wandering Fumarole on my next turn. and then untap and hope that I can recast this Advanced Stitchwing and Deep-Fiend. But it's also at the point where he's going to be able to get a lot of value off Bomat Courier, so you're going down to 8 this turn. I feel like there's no way I can win this. I took out the Fevered Visions and the Tormenting Voices because, I mean, as you can see in this game, if I'm just spinning my wheels, it's completely inadequate. But I kept the 4 Cathartic Reunions in just because they're like more powerful than the other 2 that I mentioned. And this actually plays like perfectly in my opponent's hand because he can discard the last card in his hand for this Sinister Concoction, and then he can like sacrifice the Bowman if he wants and just draw 3 fresh cards. Well, I must have a really good card in hand. I wonder if he has Unlicensed Disintegration. Yeah. Alright, and I'm dead. Oh well, that was a bit of a rough one. On to the next game.